Hey everyone, Christina here with One Creative Direction. I'm going to try not to scare everybody too much with my messy hair. Today we're going to work on a new project. So I'm going to do the first part of the video and then we'll get to painting. But just to kind of set the stage a little bit, a couple of my other videos recently, I was showing you that I bought these cute little teardrop wood blanks at Hobby Lobby. They were on clearance. I went back to try to find more and they didn't have any. I did see them on Amazon, but I was kind of thinking of some other things to do. I won't buy any more of these blanks until I see how well these sell. So I just wanted to show the finished product. They turned out really, really good. Much different process than actually, just dipping the cabochon. This one's flipped over, which is good. So you can see I painted each one of them. So I dipped the fronts. So the fronts are all dipped in paint. Some of these were cut pour paint. Some of them, these rainbow ones were bloom. I did a bloom swipe, and I always use a silicone sheet and I just dipped these right onto that. But yeah, they always turned out really, really cool. And then after those were dry, I painted the opposite side a coordinating color, and then I basically just waited till they dried and then coated each side in with bright tone. Of course, the backs, I only put a few layers on the back, but the fronts have like 3 or 4 layers, just to make them a little more shiny. And then, yeah, just really liked the way they turned out. So as I was kind of searching through Amazon for, these blanks, I saw ones that were in a heart shape. And they're super thin. You can see how thin they are. And really, really light. They had some acrylic blank ones as well. But I was perusing through Hobby Lobby the other day and I found a couple of things. So as you know, my direction is kind of going towards like functional art. So I was trying to think of different things that I could do besides the cabochon jewelry, because I feel like it's pretty oversaturated. So I went to Hobby Lobby the other day and I was just kind of walking around looking to see if they had any more of these left on clearance. And I found these in the wood aisle. They come in a bag. It's these wood pile. They come in a bag. There's 28 pieces in a bag, for $2.99, which isn't bad. So you can get 14 sets of earrings out of $2.99. So that's a pretty good deal. So my plan is today, and I'm gonna turn the camera around when I'm done talking to you guys. My plan for today is to drill a little hole in each one of these right here. So there's a couple of defects in the package, so I'm going to use those as my test pilot, just to make sure. And you can see these are considerably thicker than these. So I'm kind of liking these. They're still really light, but I'm a sucker for a heart shape. I don't know why. But we're going to try these. So I'll have 14 sets of those as well. And then while I was looking at those hearts, I found these cute little crosses. They're about the same width. This reminds me of a huge chunk of turquoise that I have that's shaped exactly like this. It's almost the same size. I would say it's about, let's see if it has the dimensions. Again, these are wood pile. You get 3 of them for $1.99. Let's see if it has the dimensions. Yep, I was gonna say almost 3 inches. So almost 2.76 high by 1.69 wide. So not bad. So same intent here is I'm going to drill a hole at the top. That's what I had done to my turquoise heart or turquoise cross that I have. I took it to a jeweler and they did a really small hole there. So we're gonna do that, and I'm probably gonna have to find a different size jump ring. So let me see if I can show this on camera. Probably not. Probably gonna have to find a different size jump ring because I don't think these are gonna be big enough to go through this thickness of this wood. So I'm gonna have to get bigger jump rings. I use these small ones primarily for my earrings and such. But I would have to say, these are significantly thicker than the earrings for the necklace, but still super lightweight, light enough to wear around your neck. So that's my plan for some new items. So I wanted to share the finished ones from the teardrops that I bought. And I'm going to flip the camera down so you can see me doing the test holes in the heart and the crosses. So see you in a minute. Okay guys, so we're back, and right now I'm using this 7/64 drill bit for these, and we're gonna get started. So here goes nothing, guys. I wish I still had my other DeWalt drill. It actually had a level. Trying to get it in the right place. Actually had a level on here so you could see that you were drilling straight. So for this, I just have to kind of eyeball it. All right, let's see what we got here. See if it's a success or a failure. It looked like it was a little bit close to the, oh, that's actually pretty good. I'm surprised how nice that looks. I can't see. I'm trying to focus it for you. Hopefully it's not too blurry. You can see real nice hole there. All right. So I'm not going to make you watch me drill all 28 of these. So we're going to move on to the cross. What I did is I measured across here. It was about 14 millimeters. So I drew a line halfway. I don't want to go too close to the top, but I also don't want to go too far. So let's clamp that down. All right, there we go. And we're going to mark this with a J for jewelry, because that is actually the perfect size bit for that. Okay, all right, let's do this again. Get it all lined up to where I want it to go. All right, here we go. Yep, I feel like that's centered. All right. Okay. All right, let's see if we got all the way through that. Yep, we did. Awesome. That looks nice. That worked out really well. Nice hole. I'll have to sand it a little bit on the front, but that's fine. It only takes a second to do that. Nip that or sand it. So there we go, folks. So I wanted to do that before I dip them or paint them, because that way, if you screw up after the paint, you're not scrapping all your work. So I like to put the holes in first. I'll get these all finished up, and then I'll bring you back when I start painting them. Okay, you guys, we are all set up to paint these hearts. Today I am not going to paint the crosses because I want to make sure that the process works for the hearts before I attempt these. So we're going to save those for another day, but I'm going to do them the exact same way. I'm going to dip. I am kind of like tossing in my mind whether or not I want to hang them and do a cup pour on them and get both sides at the same time. I'm still processing that. So if I do that different than I do these ones, I'll put that in the video at the end. So today we're going to do 2 sets of hearts. I picked out some color palettes that I thought would be different than what I currently have, that I showed you at the beginning of the video. So I picked out some pinks. So I'm going to be using Color Arts Pink Pastel or Parasol, Grumbacher's Theo Violet, I have Unicorn Spitz, Starling Sasha. I have Grumbacher's, I can't even read it, something magenta. I rubbed it off. And I have Modern Masters Snowflake. All right, and this is Bloom paint, and we're gonna put some paints down on here. So I'm gonna start with the white, and we're just gonna do a line that's gonna be big enough to dip 2 hearts. I need a little bit more, okay? And then I need to make it wide enough for both of them. I think we're good. All right, I am going to very carefully, as I find my, very carefully on a very low, lowest I can get it. I want to pop a few of these air bubbles. Yeah, that works. We're going to take this. I've got painter's tape on the end, and I reuse them as long as they are still sticking to my, whatever I'm dipping. I'll use them over and over again. So what I usually do is just stick it to the heart, make sure it's going to stick. And then basically what I do is I push it in the paint and try to make sure that it covers the sides as much as possible. So that's what we're going to do here. And I try to do it as level as possible because I don't want it to go over and go onto the back. So sometimes I have to do that. And then I always take it and angle it. And there we go. Maybe a little bit too much white in there. But then from there, because you want as little paint off as possible, I usually take and do this. And just kind of try to get all the extra paint off. Yeah, that looks nice, except for the way too much white in the center. I may mess with that a little bit, but it's got a little bit there that didn't get the side done. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back here and I'm going to dip it in the side just so we can get that coverage. I try to keep it off the back because I also, as you noticed, I paint the back. And you don't want it, you want it to be nice and flat. You don't want any big chunks of paint that you're gonna have to cut off or scrape off or whatever. That looks like it needs a little bit, so we're gonna dip the top. Doesn't look like so we're gonna take this, and we're gonna dip it in some paint, and we're gonna fill that little in. Basically, you're just touching up to make sure that you got full coverage on the sides. You can always go back and touch it up with paint later. I prefer to do that now. Okay, that looks good. In essence of time, I just loaded up 4 of these so we didn't have to load up and wait for me to load up another one. So we're going to take this and we're going to dip this in there the same exact way. I'm trying to, you know what I want to do? I want to take some of this white and kind of push it away because I don't want that big white band in there again. Maybe do that. I don't know if that's going to help, but we'll try. Okay, so I want to try to put it in the same spot. Like I said, I usually try to push it around to make sure the sides get covered and then do that. Oh, nice. How do you like that? Yep, the sides got a lot better coverage. I'll just dip that a little bit. Got a teeny tiny little spot here. The paint didn't go all the way down. All right, and then I usually just, like I said, touch up the back. And then I'll usually blow in that hole so it doesn't dry with paint in it. Okay, that's good. You got some little cells developing there. I don't know if you guys can see those. Super cute, huh? It's gonna be pretty when it's dry. Do that. I think I'm just gonna use the same paint because there's so much of it left on here. I think it's different. Okay guys, we are at the conclusion of this video. We are going to paint these two crosses and I have decided to do a bloom on them. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to do a bloom on the front and based on what the back looks like, determine whether or not I want to put a solid color on the back like I do the earrings, or because this is going to be like potentially moving around, maybe taping off the sides and doing a bloom on the opposite side as well. So we'll see how this turns out and see what happens. So what we're gonna do is, I've got some colors picked out here, and we are going to do the first one in a color palette. I'm not gonna spin these, I don't believe. I don't think there's gonna be any need to spin them because I'm gonna swipe it. We'll see. I'm going to try to put not a lot of paint on here. And then I'll have to obviously clean out the hole. May have to re-drill it depending on how much paint is left on it and what it looks like. Okay, so we're just going to cover the whole thing with a little bit of my homemade paints. I'm going to try to get it over the edge because I don't want any bare edges, and I want the paint to go over the edge pretty easily. So we're just going to add this. So my plan is to, when I pull this off, is to try to clean the bottom as much as possible before I let it dry. But we'll see how that works out for me. Get it over the edge, get it over the edge. I just want to make sure we're over the edge everywhere. There we go. Hopefully everybody's gearing up for a fun 4th of July. All right, I think we are over the edge everywhere, and there's not a whole lot of paint on there because the colors I'm going to put on are obviously going to be quite a bit, so there's going to be plenty of paint on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Ultrex Nafal Crimson. We have Deco Arts Extreme Sheen Obsidian, and we've got Unicorn Spitz Zeus Gold. I don't know if you've seen the new Unicorn Spit colors, but last time I was in Michael's 2 or 3 months ago, that's probably right after I got here, so maybe 4 months ago, I picked up a few of their metallics. I like their metallic gels. I like the ones that are kind of a transparent but have like a glitter in them. Super sparkly. I love those ones. These are a little bit different. They're more like just straight like an opaque metallic. So we'll see how these go. And we're going to be using a white cell activator. Okay. I thought I picked up the wrong one, but I have the right one. I thought I was going to be able to do this without gloves. I'm on my lunch break. But here we go. Get that nice and shook up. Should have done that before we started. I apologize. Trying to get the top of it wiped off. Okay, so we've got our cell activator all ready. Okay, I think I'm going to start with the black, I guess. Although I really don't want to. Start with the black. Ooh, didn't shake that up good enough, obviously. All right, there's the black. Here goes the red. I shook these up several times, so I'm not really sure why it did that. And we're going to put some gold on here before we put the cell activator on. Got some paint on the top of here. Okay. Not a lot. This isn't like Deco Arts gold though. It doesn't really take over like Deco Arts gold does. All right, we'll see what happens here. I'm going to use this small tool here. I'm trying to figure out how much, if I want to do it section by section or if I just want to do the whole thing. I feel like if I just do the whole thing this way, let's do that. So we don't want a ton on here. A little bit more. I'm putting it on real thin on here because I don't want a ton of cell activator. Trying to spread it. Okay, that should be good. All right, I'm gonna turn it this way so it's easier for me. Actually, I may do it at an angle. Let's try that. This could be really bad or really good. We might have to spin this. Ooh, that looks really pretty. That's a lot prettier than I thought it was gonna be. If you haven't seen some of my videos, sometimes my cell activator, it takes a little while, but you can just kind of see it forming. Ooh, that is really pretty, you guys. You can barely see the gold, but it's there. There's a little bit there. Wow, I am super happy about that. I cannot complain. That is so pretty. Just trying to stimulate some activity so there's not as much white in there. Blow it over. Let me give it just a tiny spin. I don't want to. Ooh, I really like that. All right, I'm going to wipe this off. Well, that was a good decision. I'm glad I didn't do a cut pour on that, which was what I was kind of leaning towards. Really kind of like this necklace. All right, I'm gonna pull it up so you guys can see it up close. Hopefully I don't drop it. All right, get on there. Okay, here we go. Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness, I'm super thrilled with that, you guys. I think we might just set it on this. See if I can do it without dropping it. Here we go. How about that? All right. Well, I'm gonna do another one. I have another color palette picked out. I have another metallic unicorn spit. It's called Poseidon Patina. So we're gonna use that one, and we're gonna use Artist Loft's Phthalo Green, I think. All right. And we are going to use Pebio's Green Blue. And just because I really like that gold, I might throw that gold in there. Okay, let's get this back over here. Put that down. Okay, I'm gonna get another one of these for this to set on. All right, guys, that's all I have for this video. Depending on how fast these dry, I may show a dry results for these two crosses at the end, or I may wait and show the dry results on another video. But thank you guys so much for joining me and going along this experimental journey with me on, just trying to figure out new ways to make functional art. I'm always thinking, looking for cool things to do. So thank you so much for joining me, and hopefully I will see you guys on the next one. If you haven't already subscribed, if you're just watching this and you haven't subscribed to my channel and haven't checked out all my other videos, please do so. Greatly appreciate it, and always check the description box. There's good links down there, and my email if you have questions or need information. Thank you.